Good evening, folks. This story is about a relationship between a child and his mother, and I'm going to start right in the middle. I graduated high school in 1973, and had a job waiting for me when I got back from senior week down Wildwood. It was all lined up for me, so I went down to shore for a week. I came back. In the meantime, my mother and I had decided that I would give her $30 a week as room and board. So that was fair enough at that day and age. So I came home from work my first week, gave my mother my check. She took it to the bank, came back, and had taken $35 out. And I said, Mom, now this is a woman who raised 5 children without a husband in the 50s, so you got to give some leeway here. I said, Mom, for $5, I'm not going to argue with you, but we did agree on $30. She said, oh, just wait right here, Mike. She went down to the basement, came back up from the basement with an umbrella that looked like this, and said, do you remember junior year in high school when you called me and told me you missed the bus? She was at work. You told me you missed the bus. I told you to go home. Then I found you at the mall chasing skirts back and forth up and down the mall. And I put this umbrella on the side of your head. I said, yeah. She said, well, you owe me $5 for an umbrella. Reasonable, right? I thought I was reasonable out there. So now this is where this story kind of gets hard to believe, but my hand of crisis is true. The following week, she took another $35. She went down the basement, brought up a shoe. I mentioned to her, Mom, I'm not buying you a pair of shoes. You only hit me with one shoe. So she proceeded to take her shoe off and whack me with that. So now you owe me $5. So this evolved over time, by the way. When I was younger, my mom never beat anybody, but whacks on the head were very commonplace. Just kind of wake you up kind of thing. And I would start it out, it was a beaning. You get the knuckle on the side of the head, which is a painful little son of a bitch. But I'm a kid, so, it just bothered you. And then it progressed on to umbrellas, shoes, occasional frying pan, other, any instrument that happened to be available when I did something stupid, which, by the way, fairly often. So through the years, it then evolved into what we wound up calling the Saturday night subway. And that would be the heel of the palm to the forehead. And again, no injuries involved here. This is like, wake up, you stupid bastard. What you're doing or saying, normally saying, in my case, something stupid or something wrong. So it went on and on through the years. And we're going to fast forward now to, my mom was at this time 93. She made it another year. But I have 2 brothers, both of whom are very successful and a lot easier to raise than I was. I was a bit of a terror. I was not a bully by any means, but certainly caused her quite a bit of grief through the years and got my share of the Saturday night special. I pretty much knew the schedule by the time I was 18. At 93, my mom is in dementia at this time, and both of my brothers, again, very successful guys, good families. She didn't remember anybody. She remembered her grandchildren. She remembered her friends. She remembered people who had been dead 35 years, but as far as day-to-day folks and day-to-day things, turning off the stove, that kind of thing, wasn't happening. So we're sitting there at Christmas time. My brother Bob is in Colorado. He came in for the Christmas holiday, and we're sitting there. My oldest brother's also there, but Bob and I are sitting there, and Bob and I are only a year apart. And we were mistaken for each other. When you're a kid and your mom's out in the street and there's 55 kids running around, and Bobby and Michael Franny, and you know who she's talking to, but you got to wait for her to say your name because you don't really want to go because you know you're in shit because she's not even capable of being coherent enough to remember what your name is. She's mad, and you know you're going to get the Saturday night special. So Bob and I are sitting there at Christmas time. This is a year before she passed away. And she's now 93. She looks every inch of it, unfortunately. But she's looking at Bob. She looks at me. She looks back at Bob. She looks at me. Now, here's a woman who cannot remember anyone and looked me right in the face and said, aren't I supposed to be hitting you over the head with something? That, my friends, was the last lucid moment in her life, and God bless her for it. Thank you.